Alrighty, guys. So it is 5 o'clock on the dot, and we are live. Finally, we are live. Alive? We are live. I haven't done this in a minute because load shedding has had me pinned down, you guys. Even is it last week or the week before? I was supposed to be live, I think twice, 2 weekends ago, but load shedding. Okay, let me not blame it on load shedding. I think the other time was because of my uh Wi-Fi. I don't know. Wi-Fi is what is wrong with rain? Can somebody please explain to me what is happening with rain? Because this is not what they used to do. Suddenly, they just don't care. They just, if you struggle, fine. But end of the month, they're going to take your money. So now the question I've asked them is that so when you debit me end of the month, what are you going to be debiting me for? That is what I want to know. What are you debiting me for? Because I hardly ever used your service. And if I used the service was because I was at work, I would run to work because they have fiber and then so it's easier to get things moving. But when I get home where I have rain, it just doesn't want to work at all. It will just have that exclamation mark next to the network. It just has an exclamation mark. If it has that exclamation mark, you just know that there's no network. And you'll sit there twiddling your thumb. And then if you upload a video, it will tell you it's going to be uploaded in 5 hours or 4 hours. So I would upload a video from three, or not from three, from let's say 4:30 when I get home, and then it will take its own sweet time all the way till 10 o'clock. That is why sometimes you guys will get my videos at 10 or you'll get the videos at 9. That's because my Wi-Fi decides for me when it's going to upload my video. So that is what I'm faced with. And I'm not quite sure. I know that I can pull out my service. What do you call this? My clientship, the clientship, whatever it's called, from rain and then get something else. But I also realize that even if I do now, it's something that they're going to do on at the other month. They will still charge me next month, and then they will charge me the other month, and only then they would stop taking money from my account. And when I asked about the justice in that, they said, "Well, that's how things work. And when you signed the contract, what did you think you were signing?" I was like, "Okay, fine." But anyways, I've already started severing my relationship with Rain. Of course, they're going to take in August, September, and then October, then I'm done with them. But other than that, that is that. So, hey, clan members and honorable members of the clan, how are you doing? How's your weekend been? I am so sorry about last night. I thought we were going to be load shedded at the usual time, but no, they decided to switch us off at 8, and 8:30 was my live scheduled. And I was like, oh my God. And I can't do anything. I can't go onto my community tab and apologize. But at the same time, as well, that 2 hours also gave me time to edit a vlog that I posted on my other channel. In case you're interested, I have a business kind of channel where I moved my the content that I was posting here, the original content that I was posting on this particular channel, and then I moved it to another channel because YouTube education is business talk anyways. So I'll be talking business at the same time. I'll be talking YouTube. So I decided to show my people on that other channel how I create content, and so I did it in a form of a vlog, and I think it's an awesome vlog from where I'm sitting. I mean, I'm not good at vlogs, but when I looked at this one, I was like, we could do this. We could do this. We could vlog people. We could. It's a nice vlog, I must say. It's a very nice vlog, and so that 2 hours gave me that opportunity. Until one of the honorable members of the clan came to my Instagram DM and said, "Clan, where are you?" And I'm like, "Hey, if you only knew, they took my light before time." Before time. Actually, they usually switch us off at 6, and then the lights will come back at 8, And then that is why I scheduled at 8:30 because sometimes they will not bring the lights exactly 8. They'll either bring it back around 10 past, quarter past. I think the latest will be like 20 past. So that is why I scheduled it at 8:30. But other than that, it is what it is. And I apologize. There is a link if you want to join in and let's have a conversation. You guys saw what happened this week or last week. The North Gauteng High Court, I don't even know at this point in time what is happening, but we're going to discuss all of that we witnessed with our jaws on the floor because my jaw is still on the floor, people. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it's like I wish I was wrong all this time. In fact, from 2015, I've been saying six people were present with Senzo Meyiwa. Excuse me, the day he was shot. Six people know the truth. No one else, there's no extra person, no spirit of any sort that came additionally to the seven people that were present in the house on that particular day, which is the 26th of October 2014. I stood on that from 2015 and I'm still standing on that in 2023. And now that all of this is transpiring in the court, I'm like, how did I know all of this? How did I know all of this? Why? Because it takes an active mind to look at things because you're on the outside and you're looking in. It's easy to say, something doesn't make sense here. If it did not make sense in 2014, can you imagine in 2023? Now all of this is happening and playing itself out in court where witnesses are literally tripping over each other. Literally tripping over each other. There's one crime scene, but so many different versions of the story. How is that even possible? Okay, fine. There's a crime scene, multiple stories. We have a dead body. Where is that bullet that killed this person that is on the floor now? Where is it? We know that the gun got lost, and they kind of like went and dug out another gun that committed taxi violent crimes, if it ever did, and then they want to pin it on the people that are on the dock right now. And for some reason, they are really trying their level best to navigate all the way into handing that gun into the hands of accused number three. And it's not happening. What is happening in court right now is practically a joke. It's a joke, and it's unfortunate that this joke that they are telling in court is affecting a family. It's affecting Senzo Meyiwa, who should be resting in peace. And it's also affecting those that loved Senzo Meyiwa, their hero. Now, when are they going to get justice? And I repeat, guys, I'm so sorry for saying this. And if ever the Meyiwas ever watch my channel, I'm so sorry. I think this is the third time I'm going to say this. I don't think you guys are going to get justice. I am so sorry to say this. From where I am seated, nobody is going to be held accountable because the state is not interested in charging the six people that were with Senzo Meyiwa and join them with the five that is already on the dock as accused number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. If they are going to prosecute them after, I don't know how this is also going to play itself out, to be honest with you. I'm like, again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an expert, I'm not a judge. I'm just a person with two IQs that I rub together. And when I'm sitting by myself and I'm thinking, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay. So if these five are acquitted and then the state decides, oh, okay, since nobody is being held accountable from the five, now let's go to the six. Now, if they go to the six, what difference is it going to make? Somebody please balance me there. Versus if there were with this five already. Because from where I'm standing, damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you even include them and joining them with the five, the story is the same. The police, I almost use the word because I'm getting upset with this. The police messed up the crime scene. Ex- Exhibits. Okay, thank goodness my brain remembered this time. It's not exhibitions, it's exhibits. As two clan members said, "Hey, Clantis is actually not exhibitions; it's exhibits," and that's true. I did look it down, and it is exhibits. It's not exhibition. Exhibition is something is something you see in the gallery. That was quite funny because I was laughing by myself, and then I knew that it's exhibit. I don't know, for some reason my brain kind of tends to finish the word. It's like it's incomplete word. It's like, no, it's exhibition because you still have to exhibit these exhibits in court. So to me, that's demonstration. Demonstration is exhibition, right? Oh, I got it all wrong. But anyways, let's go back to what I was saying. That's why I'm saying, unfortunately, I feel like the Mayo family, they're just not going to find justice that they are looking for. This is just one of those unfortunate cases that South Africa will have a dent on for as long as this planet exists. The law books, when new law students and law journals, when new law students are reading this, they will either weep or they will get into investigating and coming up with different angles, even though there is nothing that can be done at that time because they will not be able to charge anybody. That will be double jeopardy. People that were acquitted because not enough evidence, or the police messed up the crime scene, the case got thrown out, you can't bring it back. That's it. That's the end. You just cannot bring it back. So before I continue, let's get into the live chat. I want to say hello to the honorable members of the clan. Guys, I am loving this clan thing. It's becoming quite popular. And I've also seen you guys in other people's what you call this, other people's channels, and then I do support the true crime channels that are covering this particular case, and I do see you guys mentioning the clan. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's start with Michael Mike. Welcome back, bro. Thank you so much, Michael. I'm so sorry. Load shedding that we have to live with. Someone's pillar says the clan is present. Tick. Yes, I am. Lucky Charles says the clan. Yes, honorable member of the clan. Welcome. Ogushe, good, and you? I am so good. You guys, I had a productive weekend. I filmed 5 videos for my business channel, which I'm going to be uploading every single day because I'm trying to test the algorithm to see how it's going to react with me uploading every single day. Basically, YouTube education videos thus far that I'm going to be uploading. Then I filmed a vlog which is live right now on that channel. I think that vlog is awesome. I don't know. That's what I think. It's currently live. So I had a very productive day yesterday. Then I got bummed by load shedding. Then I couldn't have the live that I had scheduled. But you guys came in and you assisted me because I was like, okay, when should we have another live? Should we have it at 3 or have it at 5? And then you guys voted for 5 o'clock. Here we are. Uh, let's see who's next. Kita, is it Kita? Hey, Clantis. Hi, how are you? Kumbula, hey, clan members. Kumbula, good to see you. Kita says a lot is happening in the case. I don't know, son. Hi, Nama, I don't know, son. Hi, Nami, I don't know. Something is definitely something is going wrong. It's going, not even something going, this case is going south. It's going south. That is why I'm saying we need to prepare ourselves emotionally and psychologically that this is it. There's no justice in the Senzo Meyiwa case. If you were listening to Musia, Warrant Officer Musia, he came as I would say, Mina. I would say, in as much as he's not a forensic, but he is the level below a forensic. And if he messed it up there, what did the forensic got from him to look into? That's the question. What is the forensic supposed to look at? Because the important parts of the house that he's supposed to have taken swabs at, he didn't. He didn't. Instead, he's bringing a bullet that we all don't know where it's coming from, but we know where it's coming from. And they want to pin it on accused number three, who, by the way, has already served or serving a sentence of that illegal possession of a firearm that was gotten in his room illegally. Forget the fact that what do you call this? Forget the fact that he's convicted, but what about the process of him getting arrested? All illegal, false arrests. Accused number three, if he, I don't know if he's a criminal, but because of his conviction with this gun, which I think he can challenge this arrest and conviction through a lawsuit or a civil suit, because since the time he's been in prison and he has not worked probably in his life, or maybe he was going to be employable at some point, that loss of income, he's going to go for it. He's going to run after it. He's going to want it back. Definitely is going to be suing us taxpayers for wrongful arrest and wrongful conviction. Yes, we saw pictures of him carrying firearms and calling them different names. Shiabazali, is it Shiabazali or what? He's so childish. But then again, you're looking at his age at the time, you're like, I'm not surprised. You would do something stupid like this one. But now he will sue us. Accused number three, he will sue the living pans out of us. Now that, oh, what's his name? Baloy is trying to pin things that he did not do. Because I wasn't there. I don't know accused number three. I can't even call his name properly. In fact, I don't think I remember all their names. Only thing I know is that this is accused number one and this is accused number five. What their names are, I know. I think it's Gardner or something like that. I do not laugh at people's names, but that's a very funny name. As a Zulu person, that's kind of funny. But it's not as funny as another name I heard somebody introduce themselves, and it was in the ID because I wanted to see. It was called the, the male shush organ, the sac. Yeah, he was called that. That's his. I even saw it in his ID because I could not believe him. I was like, no, there's no way. Can I see your ID? And he showed me, and that's exactly the name. And Africans, when we give names, is because of an event that took place at the time of your conception or at the time of your birth. So I don't know what happened to his fathers for him to be conceived. Okay, the clan has started with the nonsense because now I'm going to be spending a lot of time laughing. Tandim who says, "Hey, clan, miss you, mwah, miss you too. Thank you so much for being here." Kita, why are you laughing? And Lucky is also laughing. What did I say? That was a little bit funny. Hey, Faith is here. Hey, what's up, Commissioner? He's back from the hostel or from a Siangom Sangom. Did you bring mother face? Order, honorable member, order. Caroline, how are you? They must release the five accused. I think the if I was the defense lawyers and it came time for them to be cross-examined, I would advise them not to take the stand. I would seriously not advise them to take them, not because they are hiding anything, simply because there's no case. Why would you want me to be on the stand and then I start answering questions? There's an example for accused number three, who's already convicted for a firearm, a possession of illegal firearm and ammunition, and then you bring back, maybe you sneak in some future, and then I implicate myself when I wasn't going to. I would leave it to the discretion of the court and say, court, You make a decision according to what you have heard from the witnesses that took the stand. There are multiple versions of what happened on that day. And then me, you have to decide on my fate and place me in the crime scene on the 26th of October 2014. Leave it to the court. Don't take the stand. You take the stand, you're going to implicate yourself. You must take what do you call the Americans, they call it Fifth Amendment. What we call it here in South Africa, where you decide to remain silent. You're like, I remain silent. I'm not going to say anything. I have no comment. If I was the defense lawyers, I would advise them say nothing. Don't take the stand. Leave it to the judge. The judge was the one that was hearing evidence, and the evidence is very clear. The crime scene was tampered with. And another thing that was a bombshell to me is the fact that the police were called 4 hours after. What were they discussing for 4 hours if they were not involved? If they were not involved, what were they discussing? Secondly, if intruders enter your house right now and you are with your friends or with your family or you are alone and they enter with guns blazing and then they demand whatever they demand, they shoot one of you and one of you dies, you're telling me you're going to decide for 4 hours whether I should call the police or the ambulance? Or is that what you're telling me? Where is the sense of emergency? Where is the sense of urgency? What is the sense of loyalty to the person that just got shot who happens to be your friend? Mtogo. Okay, I see Mtogo. Tumelo. Tumelo. Your friend. That's almost like your brother. You grew up with him. You went to school with him. You played soccer with him. This individual was sending you money, probably was even taking care of you. You were mooching out of him. And now he gets shot and you're looking at him, probably begging, please call the ambulance, I'm dying. You know the thought of it, it sends chills down my spine. How do you watch a person probably gurgling, trying to speak, probably even able to talk and begging you, please call the ambulance, I'm dying. And you're not. You couldn't be, you couldn't care. How is that possible? 4 hours later, let the judge make a judgment on that. Don't call me on the stand as an accused. Let the judge use his own brain, use the law, apply it onto the facts, right? Anyways, let's continue with the live chat. Ashford Nyati, kunesandla semfene kule cala ngeke. I think we've already established that indeed there is suspicion. I think now I know who's the mastermind in all of the concealment of what do you call this, of Senzo Meyiwa. This script, we thought it was Chico Twala who wrote it. I don't think so. It has to be written by somebody who has attended crime scenes before and understand how crime scenes work and understand what to conceal, what not to conceal, what to tell the court in misleading to the people who are involved. It's not Chico Twala. Chico Twala was briefed of the script. Mhm. That's just my suspicion. I'm not saying the fact. I'm not saying it's true. I wasn't there. But I'm just wrapping my two IQs. You know how we do it here. We rub our two IQs. That's one of the reasons why I love the clan, because you guys are just much of a conspiracy theorist as I am. I read your comments. I read your comments. It's just as these days when I try to engage back, my Wi-Fi is not working. Even if when I try to what do you call this, to give you guys hearts and the like, to bounce back to become white again instead of red. So I don't know what to do anymore because I like engaging my community. If you guys send me messages, I want to respond. I want to have a conversation as well. But these days, unfortunately. And then Faith says, "Hey, darling. Hey, you too, darling. How are you doing?" Someone's pillar. Remember when Zandi was testifying? She said that upon the arrival, they found her mom's phone by the stove and Senzo's phone under the cupboard. How did her mom call Malume Temba? Somebody said it was Kelly Khumalo who called Uncle Temba, but somebody also said, but Kelly Khumalo's phone was stolen. Then I'm like, "Kante, how many phones did Kelly have?" And I remember somebody said to me, Kelly had two phones. One was personal, one was business. They think it was the personal phone that got stolen. I don't believe all of that. Honestly speaking, I don't believe all of that. You know who I believe? The person that answered our question. Guess who it is? Take a wild guess. Let me see it in the comment. Our person that answered our suspicion is one of the witnesses. Who is it? Let's see, clan members. Show me your two IQs. Rub them now. Let me see. Let me see. Caroline says, "Love the clan too. Just joining now. Love you too, sis. Love you very much." Hey, what's up, Timothy? It's good to see you here. It will take members of the public to open another case against those who were in the house. You mean like private prosecution? Stain led investigating officer and prosecutor, alternatively, a high court application be made to force the state to charge them. That's actually a very good. That's a good idea. Can it be done now so that they join the six with the five? Can we do that? Because at the end of the day, I would think because we are the state. When they say state versus, they're talking about us, the people, right? And this crime was committed against the state, the people. So we should have a say in how the NPA should do its work. Yes, I know with the court we can't say anything because they of their independence, but can we also influence the NPA to do something that we are not satisfied with? Kumbula says, "Yeah, nah, the state can see it's going, no, it has no case. There's no case here, and everything keeps pointing back to the people who were in the house. I don't understand why they are not charging all of them already. It's a good question. A question that I asked, I don't know which video or live. Why are they still free, these six people? Because now I think we are clearer than ever before where all of this points at. And Kumbula, you're absolutely right. It points back or it circulates back to the people that were present in that house with Senzo Meyiwa when he was shot and killed. This doesn't need a rocket scientist. And then the people, here's another thing that I'm trying to understand. There are people who come into my comment section and say, no, let's leave this until the end. And I'm like, okay, you are saying if we left it, what exactly are you suggesting? Because I don't understand. I don't understand that part. Let's leave it, or let's be patient. I see things. Let's leave it. Let's be patient. Let's discuss this after. So what happens? Because we are the people, and we are listening, and then we are reacting. Because whenever, in every action, there's going to be a equal opposition reaction. So what are we supposed? We say we might just fold our arms and not question the things that you are hearing because you are hearing contradictions and you are like, I know I'm not a lawyer. I know I'm not a judge. I know I'm not a legal expert, but what I'm hearing, no, this doesn't make sense. Of course, I'm going to react. I'm going to create a video and I will react. I'm not going to wait and fold my arms for what? For what to happen? Because we're not going to discuss it. Let me tell you that. Once this case happened, we all go like, "Ooh, hi," and then we move on to something else. And then all these people, the police, the MPA, everybody will never be held accountable. They will never. This is supposed to be a lesson that South Africans are not stupid. For all the authorities, they might like say, you know what, We don't want to have another Senzo Meyiwa debacle. We don't want to have the public blaming us for things. But no, people want us to wait and be patient. I don't get that part. I honestly don't get the part. Honestly, please somebody help me out there. I don't know why this person's alarm is not switching off. And then Caroline says, at Kumbula, you are right, man. I wonder why they are not arresting the people who were in the house. I saw a video by Kelly Khumalo the other day, or was it this week, where she was in the car and said, God is going to show himself. And I'm like, okay, I don't know which God you're talking about, but the God of love, justice, if that God does show up, is coming for justice, not going to be in defending people that we suspect may be involved. There's no way. I don't understand what kind of God is that. Faith says something fishy in this case. It will go cold. It's already cold. It's been cold for the past 9 years, and it's not even hot. It's not even warm because we are not getting to who killed Senzo Meyiwa. But we already think we know. We already think we know. And apparently he's on drugs, living under a bridge. Why? They must just let go of the five guys. Call Triple K's Umkongi Umto. TT's MPA. These guys, I get with the what do you call this? With the initials of the people because you're afraid of getting sued. But that's very funny sometimes. Oh no, God. Uno God is a policeman, okay? Police, not Uno. Timothy says Musia was by that rookie and should be charged. Should he change from what he said in the first trial? He might be charged with fraud. Woo. I didn't see the first trial. Like I said, you guys, from 2015, I gave up on this case. I gave up when I heard people that were not supposed to be there in the house, including a health MEC of Gauteng, was in the doing what? Were they a part of the task team? What is the Department of Health doing in a crime scene? Is what I want to know. And secondly, what is a member of the Hawks doing in a crime scene like that one? What was being cooked? Faith says the big fish from subs cause they wasting our money. That's true. This entire thing, this entire exercise has become a taxpayers' money's wasteful expenditure. Totally. At this point now, and they're so shameless about it. I don't understand what is that lady, the NDPP Batori. I don't understand why she's not making a decision. She is the one who has the power to make a decision and arrest the six people, but she's wasting our tax money together with Baloy. But I understand with Baloy people. Let me defend Baloy for a sec here. Baloy gets attacked a lot. Baloy is the state prosecutor. His job is to pin evidence against the people that are brought before the court for the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Whether he believes that it is them, I don't think he believes, or he doesn't. I think he doesn't believe that he has the right people. But because his job forces him to do what he's doing, that is why he's doing what he's doing. And I'm sure several times he has approached he has approached his boss, Batohi, and said, listen, I don't have a case yet. And now who is doing that political decision as to why this case should go on? Because at this point in time, he's obfuscating. That's what's happening with the state. They are obfuscating, they're shooting in the dark, they're hoping to hit something. And every time they shoot in the dark, there's absolutely nothing to shoot in that room, in the dark room. I believe he knows that he doesn't have a case. And I'm sure at some point I'm sure at some point he might have gone under advisement to the judge and say, listen, hey, and probably the judge is like, you're right, but I have to keep this charade so that the public does not become what do you call this? Not violent. Like we don't basically don't make noise and start discrediting the judiciary and the criminal justice system. I think at this point, what they're trying to do, especially the judge, he's just trying to save the little that's left of the reputation of the what do you call this of the criminal justice system. Other than that, I think he has made up his mind. And I think now that I was thinking about it, like what happened on Friday, where he got triggered with the fact that diligence was not used over thorough in this. And then I was like, this guy is triggered. He is so annoyed by this entire case. He already knows that the people that are accused are sitting in the dock innocent. I think he already knows that. And he's like probably saying, where are the people that were in the house? But because he's a court, he cannot overreach. All his job is to do is to preside over what is being presented to him. That is what I think. I don't think he has the power to tell the state, go and arrest. He doesn't have that power. I don't think he has that power. And I think it goes back to the principle, is it separation of powers? Is it separation of powers? And so he can't overreach. And it will not even be a matter of checks and balances yet. He will just be overreaching to tell the state, go and arrest the six people. So all his job is to do, please correct me if I'm wrong, Timothy, is to preside over what's presented to him. And he's now listening to what's being presented. And then you have the defense probably who are throwing in things that are a little bit irritating, because now when I was listening as well to the replay, I was like, I think I see where this judge is, where he's coming from. Some of these questions that the defense are asking are almost elementary. You know, they're not coming from what's supposed to sound like a lawyer, that type of thing. So I think he's irritated by that, not because he favors the state or he doesn't like the defense. I think he just wants them to, let's progress, let's move. Stop asking silly questions, ask the meat, and then skin the meat of the bone, and then let's move. I think that's what is happening. That's what I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let me admit now, I could be wrong. But from where I'm sitting, I think he's one of those people that get irritated by, I think in his mind, he probably is like, this is stupid, But of course, he can't say it out loud like that. That would be unprofessional. But anyways, let's continue. Where were we? Faith says yes. His name is Gadla. Uzo Gadla. Be careful. I think Gadla is better compared to what my ear heard and collapsed. Timothy says I meant to say and or perjury, but okay. Now I get that. I get that because already I think I don't know if they are going to be held accountable for perjury, because you could also still tell that Musia was committing perjury on the stand the last 2 days that he was on the stand, especially on Friday when now he was getting grilled. The fact that on Friday he was mixing up. You're an investigator, a crime scene attendant. You're telling me you can't remember chronologically your own crime scene. There you are now. Okay, it's been 9 years, fine, point taken. But still, when you look at your notes, oh, there's another question. Where did Musia's pocketbook came from? I don't think anybody was asking questions about the pocketbook. Where did the pocketbook come from? Ega Musia. And why Mtetwa's and Matebula's the lies that you are being told, people. I know somebody will say, no, he was reading from a statement. I don't think, yes, he may be reading from the statement, but the other things that are not in the statement, he was able to vividly say them out. The only way he couldn't remember that is if he went and consulted his pocketbook. Where is Matebula M. Teto's pocketbook? And why nobody has asked the SAPS logistics about the facts or what we heard as a fact in court that pocketbooks get thrown away after 3 or 4 years. What about cold cases? What about what the pocketbooks of cold cases like Senzo Meyiwa's? It shouldn't there be a provision that okay, we don't throw that away because it's Alan right? And somebody somewhere might one day wake up and say, "Hey, I think my conscience has developed. Let me go confess what happened in 1975." You know what I'm trying to say here? So what if something of this nature happened where either Tumelo Madala develops a conscience? Now, pocketbook, that this is now where the case becomes hot because now we have a lead and a witness. So what happens to the pocketbook is you're still going to need the investigators that came to that house and took evidence, exhibits, right? Now you're saying the pocketbooks basically they threw away evidence. No, the logistics needs to be held accountable. There is no way, especially now we know. No, 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 no. I can't accept that. I can't accept that. Caroline says Umkongi denied the role Zandile gave him. Yeah, I heard. I think he even kind of like giggled a little bit. My goodness, I've been Umkongi before, and I make a mean negotiator. Timothy says if Musia says something different from what he said in the first trial, he might be charged with fraud and or perjury. A reasonable lawyer will not put accused in the box. In the box, fortunately, number three can't sue us because oh okay, you can't please let me know why you can't sue us for wrongful arrest. Because I think the fact that a search warrant was not issued to him. Secondly, his rights were not read to him. Thirdly, he's been accused, falsely accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa. I would think these three things, or at least one of them, is worth of a lawsuit. Lindewe Bembe says, "Hi, Puti. I agree with Titi Tobani attorneys 100%. I also agree with him. I also agree with him. It's just I'm just have some follow up questions as well, especially with the lawsuits. How it's not going to succeed. I would like to know that one. BBM banesibindi bonke abanye. Hey, it's Bindi Sasa George Koch. I'm telling you, I that's Bindi. I mean, I don't think. I have a very sensitive conscience. Let me tell you a story. When we were kids and we will be naughty, kids it came to a point where kids will not take me anywhere because the moment the moment I start feeling bad, I'm going to snitch. That's me. I'm going to let it all out. Who, and who did what? If I participated, I will also take responsibility and get the beating. Yep, that is me. So it got to a point where my friends didn't take me anywhere because I don't basically. Faith and Carolina High Umkongi is unreliable, yet he stayed behind for days. Yeah, he stayed behind for days because they were investigating and they needed his statements and all of those stuff. Ihodzi. I don't know if Lhozi. I hope I pronounced that. Oh my god, I'm so sorry if I butchered. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. He says, I am not giving up on the South African judicial system. Me either. Me either. I want to state this. I'm not giving up on the South African judicial. In fact, I've never given up on the judicial system. I think it's independent. The one that I'm having an issue with is the criminal justice system. Because the criminal justice system, guess who it has? Police. And the police, they are the first people or the first instinct that when a crime is committed, they are the ones who attend before it gets or transferred to the judiciary. So the criminal justice system has been compromised by the police. That is Okay, one of my tears trying to fall down. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. I think I'm fine now. Yeah, the police is the threat of our criminal justice system. That's my take. But the judiciary, I don't think I ever doubted them because I know the judges go under review. Hence, you have Maumela who's suspended. So if a judge behaves in a particular way, a complaint can be lodged and then they'll be put under review and they'll also review the cases that they have presided over to see if no malpractice was involved. Please, Timothy, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm willing to learn. Okay, those six witnesses either all should be arrested for the actual murder or evidence tampering. Clan is here. Let me tell you something. If I was the NDPP, hey, people would have long been in jail. Oh my God, Isaiah. Isaiah, thank you so much for purchasing a super sticker. I highly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Isaiah. I highly appreciate it. I highly appreciate it. Totally appreciate it. Um, let's see, Faith. Oh, you don't have a comment. Okay, no, it's okay. No, I highly appreciate your purchase of super sticker. I need to make like these emojis and all those stuff. I will once I've learned how those things are done, I promise I will do it. I'll do it. Cynthia, Malume is the mastermind. Hmm. Mina, I'm with you, Cynthia. I'm with you. But I want to know of the witnesses that already taken the stand, who do you believe? Because that person answered our long standing question of who killed Senzo Meyiwa. Who's that person? Umpo Gugu. Gugu Gobeni, you're getting warm. You're getting warm. Because I think Gugu confirms, she confirms the crime scene, I believe. I think she confirms the moment the bell was blown or the whistle was blown, and after when Makumalo left with not Makumalo, when Mapiri left with Temba Kuman to the hospital. What were they doing? Mhm. Titi says he has already been convicted on that firearm, but the question I'm having, the how they obtained the firearm was illegal. No search warrant. His rights were not read. They only read his the rights that he or maybe what that sheet of paper. I don't know what it's called with your rights at the police station before they detain you. That's my question. What defense should have done? They should have objected to cell phone experts and firearm evidence as unlawful. More firearm evidence as similar facts evidence. Okay. No, I think I agree with you on that one as well. I think they should have. There's so many things I feel like the defense should have stood up on objection. So many things. And one of those is what you are raising as well. Because I would have stood up on objection. The moment I heard the story of Alexandra, yes, who stood up in objection was Nisi, but he was overruled by the judge. But still, when I was cross-examining, I think he made a mistake of asking for an expungement. Is that the word? For a record to be expunged. My chain of thought just got mixed up a little because my brain started running after reading Timothy's comment. I wanted to say something, but I have a problem with my brain, guys. It the way it runs, the way it speeds. I try my level best. Even in at school, whenever I used to write, especially when I wrote examination, I'm the type of guy. A 2 hour exam, I would write it in 30 minutes. True story. When I did my learner's license, it's an hour test, right? But I wrote it in 10 minutes. That's because my brain, whenever I see something, if I don't catch it, I would miss out. I just miss things. Ask people that went to school with me; they'll tell you. No, true story. I promise you, true story. I have a brain that just it speeds. It speeds. Olga, touchdown. What's popping? What's up? It's good to have you here, Olga. No, you're not late. Likona, hot. You are very hot. Top saying told us what happened. And when she did, she actually upaise amapoisa untapseng without knowing that she was doing that, but she came and said whatever the police are going to tell you is all lies. And now these police people, now that they're taking the stand, they are upset at Ntapseng. And as a result of being upset on Ntapseng, they are removing her altogether from the scene. I believe Mina Untapseng's testimony. I believe in Ntapseng when she was at the hospital. I believe when she left with the police and Makuma to the from the hospital. I believe in Ntapseng being in the house, going to collect water, seeing a silver something on the floor, and asked Boma Tebula and them if this is what they were looking for. I believe in Ntapseng when she talked about the hat. Now the police are coming and they're tripping over. They're like, hey, to the Maslo, Top saying, Kaza Gimbo. I'm like, why? If you did not remove her from the crime scene or from the scene altogether, you may have gotten away with it. But because you were all together, I was like, yeah, okay. Top saying's warm body was there. Why are you removing it? Why are you removing Tapsang from the scene? Why are you removing the fact that you did see Tapsang? You did hear Tapsang ask you, is this what you are looking for? There is no way that she was not there. And there's no way, I know maybe somebody might dispute this, but in most cases, whenever a death occurs, either the elder person will always have somebody by their side. I don't know, am I getting it wrong? They will always have somebody by their side, somebody familiar, somebody that will like serve comfort of some sort, that will give them amanzano shugela to calm down and that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? And I believe in Tapsen was that person for Makumalo. Why would the police remove that element? No way. Yes, in Tapsen, you are right. Jose, Jose. Hi, I like calling it the Spanish way. Jose. I think it's a beautiful name, by the way. Clan, it's clear that this case was concealed by some top cops. I believe that too. Starting with some people are calling him Monogad. And they managed to manipulate it, and you can see that's lots of monies are involved. That's true. Mina, I'm asking a question, Jose. I'm saying when Kelly Kumalo's uncle was the police, if he was a police back then, what cases was he working on that made him take a phone call his partner or somebody in his office and say, hey, if you open the cupboard up there, you'll find a bullet. Can you bring it to this address? And then come the following day after Mtetwa, no, after Matebula and yeah, and Mtetwa scoured the place, found nothing on top of the cupboards, around the cupboards, in the sink, on the floor, crevices of the what do you call the kitchen, and found nothing. And suddenly, almost see they come, they found a bullet. Where is that bullet coming from? Where is the fingerprints of the bullets? Oh, they said they did not do fingerprint tests on bullets, or was it the gun? No, it was actually accused number three's gun. No, I agree with you, Jose. 100% money was involved here. Manipulation by the police, evident. Sisanda says the way I don't trust the subs, they can manipulate the ballistic evidence. I also don't, especially in this case at this point. And I think in a video, or I said after the judge asked, I think it was Matebula, was it yeah, Matebula, Mtetwa, it was Mtetwa, about looking everywhere. I said any ballistic and any cop that is going to testify after them and they plant or they say something that these two did not see. Remember, these are four eyes now. Excuse me, four eyes did not see the bullet that Musia found, or Shosha. Is it Shosha or Shasho? Shasho, Mshot, one of those names. And secondly, Musia takes 8 pictures, but Mshosha takes 130. Who's over exaggerating the crime scene here? What was added? What was subtracted? Is what I want to know. Who do we believe between Musia's 8 photos of the crime scene and this 130? I'm inclined to believe Musia's. I think that's one that reflects the true nature of the crime scene, which was already tampered. The 130 photos, what were you taking? I know. No ways. Olga says, but why is the masterminder not in the dock? I think you have to establish that there was a mastermind, and then what do you call this? The state. If indeed it also suspect that there's a mastermind, then they can issue a warrant of arrest. So at this point, it's still a court proceeding. I don't know. Maybe Timothy can help us with that one as well. It's good to have a lawyer in the chat. Love the fact that we have one. Faith says, I wonder too, Angiti Unogata is moving with big fishes. Nogata isn't just Ipoisa. Yes, I also found out that too. Somebody whispered to me that, hey, Lamuntu lawyer. In my mind, I was like, ooh. Remember, KK wasn't called to testify when Jay got arrested after that horrible accident, yet she was there. Okay. Oh, yeah, there was a question somebody asked me to do a timeline of what happened. And I'm busy with that timeline, by the way. I'm going to do it in a video. And then the second question that was asked, you see, I listened to you guys. The second question was me talking about the two boys who were seated outside and there are no more, which is another. For me, I didn't know this information. I'm hearing this information from you guys. I'm like shocked. There were two witnesses that were outside. Do you understand the credibility of their testimony? Top notch, because those are the people you want. They are the ones who saw firsthand what had happened. They saw firsthand who went in, who went out, who drove what, who didn't drive what. You are absolutely right. And so I am looking into that as well. I'll create a video and tell you what my suspicions are and the circumstances that led to their death. Tandy Ntembu says the clan moving of Senzo, they were not supposed to move him. Instead, they should turn him on the side, not lying up. I don't even okay. They didn't ask people having knowledge. Yeah, I think as well. Whenever somebody's shot, you put them on the side so that you prevent the oozing of blood and things of that nature. I don't know what happened. Maybe Senzo, when he got shot, he died instantly. I don't know, but something tells me that he did not die instantly. I think it was Mtogo's testimony, but Umelo omitted it in his own testimony. He said that when he came from next door, walked into the kitchen and saw Senzo lying, he was still gurgling. He had this gurgling sound, and he tried to speak, but he could not speak. In Zulu, he said, "Ebephefumula ngenxeba." So I think that one I do believe. I do believe that that testimony. So that is why I feel like he died a painful death. He died looking at his friends and people he loved see him die without helping him. Scary. Titi says it can be done now on the side of these proceedings. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh, okay. As an urgent application, I can draft and move it. I hope you all remember a case of DA versus NPA and JG Zuma, whereby NPA was ordered to charge JZ. Oh, yeah, I remember. I remember. That's because the public was up in arms about. Yeah, no, no, no. I get you. I get you what you mean. Hmm. Wow. So is it like a private prosecution or just making an application to MPA and force it uh, to make arrest of the six, right? So Tani says these police, they left student in the hospital but couldn't leave them in the house. Even leaving them, why leave them? Because they are there to shadow experienced cops. Now we're having two people now who are policemen, men or women, and women that are busy going to crime scene and mimicking exactly what they saw in 2014 because they think that's how things are done. That you can abandon a crime scene, go to the hospital to check a famous person lying on a slab, then come back to the crime scene and then you start investigating. They were not supposed to leave at all. All four of them, not just leave the student at the house or anywhere. All of them should not have left. And Temba Khumalo, being a police officer, should have known that they should not leave. And secondly, he should have challenged them not to leave. Okay, let's go on. Caroline's okay. Speaking to Faith, indeed, there are big fishes involved. They are protecting KK and everyone who were in the house. So, since people have also corrected me, y'all, about it's not exhibitions, it's exhibit, can I also make a correction? One fish, many fish, a school of fish. I am. I need a clap back, people. Okay, so it just so happens that Carolina and Faith are talking about fishes when it's supposed to be fish. I'm so sorry, girls. I'm so sorry. Umpo says Google's testimony is the most valuable. Yes, I agree. Then you combine hers with that on top saying, then you have a solid crime scene that transpired on the 26th of October 2014. I agree with you, Mpo, 100%. Caroline says, Clantis, there are many gods in this universe. Satan is the god of other people. True. KK is talking about her own god with a small g. She is referring to the devil himself. I didn't see that one coming. No, honestly speaking, you just have to be the devil herself to let the father of your child for 4 hours not get help for him? What about his daughter? Oh no. Oh, come on, people. You really have to be the devil. Seriously. Or maybe even the Black Widow. Sipahi says, Hey clan, what kind of a game is this one played in court? I'm asking the same question. At this point, they're trying to entertain us, and it's not funny at all. We want justice for Senzo Meyiwa. We want to know who killed Senzo Meyiwa, but seemingly, it's entertainment. How can we be fed these lies when we know who pulled the trigger? Yeah. Mm. We might not know, no, but we know. Yeah, I agree with you. Kuku Shangem does say, How are you doing? Hello, clan. And Malume clan says, Oh, Senzo Malume. Okay, hello. I like that. How are you doing, Kuku? It's good to see you here. Nishan. Kezepi Shalimar probably bought as well. Shalimar. Is that a new word that I'm probably okay? Please I don't know if it's correct or you want to make corrections. Shezepi Shalima probably bought as well. Oh, you mean there's a police officer called Shalima? Is that what you mean? Okay. Richard, Mina, I am just sick and tired of all these manufactured lies told to. I'm going to read this how I think you are writing it. Mina, I am just sick and tired of all these manufactured lies told in court by these witnesses. Less I said about the police, the better. They must all have charged Tumelo and will cry and spill the beans. I think Tomato this time around, apparently he came prepared and he was stingy with his tears. But previously, his conscience was really playing a number on him, hence he cried. Not because he cared about Senzo Meyiwa. Karen Sipahi, that makes skin crawl. Yeah, it did. It did. Uh, Sisanda says, nah, I can't wait for Mapiri. Do you think the state is going to call her? Because if you call Mapiri, you collapse the state's case. Because the questions that the defense are going to ask are going to be a barrage of whys. Hey, why did you clean the crime scene? Who called you? What time were you called? When you stayed behind, what did you do before you went to the hospital with Tamba Khumalo? What were you two doing? Too much implications there for the state not to call. But I would also like to see her understand. Brian, the state want to keep those guys behind bars. They're avoiding a heavy lawsuit. That's what I also think. I think that we are at a stage where now the five are like this. It's the money. I saw it the money. That's where they are at this point because as I'm sitting and I'm watching and I'm looking at them, I'm like, damn, y'all are rich. That's where I am right now. I mean, I'm between being jealous and I'm also between like, you're in jail. I don't like jail. But you are going to sue. You're going to get money from taxpayers, unfortunately. So I agree with you, Brian. Faith says KK must be charged one, removing the deceased jewelry. That's looting. Two, ID car that was tampering. She wasn't even supposed to drive around with that car. That's true. She defeated the ends of justice. The deceased was in that car. That's true. I agree. Smo Easy's recipe. Hello, host. Oh, come on, with the clan here. Hello, everyone. Helping, waving. Hello, 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 Smo. You are forgiven. Cynthia says that Defu told us that the office of the president knows something here. Ooh, really? That's hot. That's scandalous, actually. Faith says KK drove out of the hospital as Sabs was arriving. Yet she arrived at her home later. Where did she go to? Hi, man. I think there was a time where Tumelo was testifying, but after now that everybody's asking, I'm like, no, wait a minute. Where did she go to for real? Because Tumelo said, was it Tumelo Mtogo? I think it was Mtogo. That he needed to call the Mewa family. He did not have airtime. But I thought your phone was flat and it was, oh no, he said he got it charged at the hospital. The nurse helped him to charge. And then he and Kenny Khumalo drove out to the garage to buy airtime. So I'm assuming that's the point where they come across the cops. I don't know. But the question is, how long did they take at the garage before they went home? Right? Pumzina says, I agree. The judge wants questions that will make this trial move forward. Yeah, I think so too. Honestly speaking, I think so too. And then again, like I said, with Baloyi, who's taking a lot of flack right now, he's just doing his job. He's doing his job in as much as I think he believes Uti, this is now a joke. He's just doing his job. That's it. Ngithanda umbono wakho nokusivula amehlo ngezomthetho, sir. Yeah, I also agree. I think having Tobani here is amazingly helpful. And by the way, he has a YouTube channel. He does shorts and he talks little snippets about the case. So if you are interested, go subscribe to his channel. What is it called again? I only see it when I get notification and then I watch and then I like. So check it out. Mandy says the pocketbook story is. I think so too, Mandy. It's a lie. Why Musia here? No, he has. Oh my gosh. Oh my no. Come on, Wi-Fi. You are behaving so well. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? I'm in the dark screen right now. Oh, come on. Okay, let me read the comments, and then in case the Wi-Fi does its thing, at least we already an hour in, and then we just can call it the night, and then you enjoy your Sunday evening, and we'll see each other tomorrow, definitely. But let me read all this, and then I'll say my goodbyes later. Caroline says KK was after the bag, thus that's why he moved the jury. She held Senzo's BMW hostage. Who thinks about materials when a loved one has died? She was supposed to emotionally derail, and then that's not even her right to do that. That stuff belongs to Senzo's family. Uh, Tabi, hi Tabi, so good to see you here. And then I did try that thing, and I did see a spark. I did. You know what are we talking about here? Lit by here. Thank you for being here. You're welcome to the clan. Sisanda says, kulento the Khumalos bakuluma kakulu. For people who are innocent, they are. Why are they against the lawyers if they are innocent? Akiri, they also want justice for Senzo. I've never heard them asking for justice for Senzo. The only time I heard any of the Khumalo ask for justice for Senzo was that letter that Zandile Khumalo wrote to the president. But I've never heard from Kelly Khumalo. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I've never heard her demand justice for Senzo. Faith says exactly, and her career at that time was at the rock bottom. S was on another level, yet she says she made him famous. Maybe she was on something else. Oh, really? Wow. When she said that. Titi says the state will raise the civil matter as prescribed because the arrest for firearm happened in 2015. To prescription to the prescription, you need to sue within 3 years. Oh yeah, yeah. The statute of limitation is three. It's not 2 years. I think it was 2 years. Oh, it's three. Okay, you are a lawyer. Of the incident of arrest, which was in 2015. But now, can't he, considering that now his reputation has is being tainted in the current situation in court, doesn't he have recourse? Uh, Sichel or Sicele. I think the last time I also butchered your name. Um, Hi, it's WS Malume so quiet. Was so quiet, Kant. Hey, I'm telling you, you know the uncle story? When I heard it and the part that it is the police, I was like, wait a minute. This case had just spun on its head, as far as I'm concerned. A police officer would know how to tamper with the crime scene. And this time around, it so happened to be a family member or a family member's house. Mm-mm. Yeah, Komalume, take the stand. I hope it's him tomorrow. If it's not him, I think he would have been reshuffled. So says all this time Malume has been so quiet. Kanti, Kanti, true, there is nothing hidden under the sun. That's true. What you do in the dark, it comes out in the broad daylight. 9 years later, who knew? Pumzile saying Thamsanqa, yes, in Thamsanqa, I believe in Thamsanqa. The fact that they were removing her from the crime scene, that's her. Makumalo li malume ki di skoko sa playing hide and seek siblings for life. Hey, Mara, ki it will end up in tears. I think it's already are. Wherever they are, they must be very scared. They have to be scared. Faith says, Tobani, but due to the circumstances, can't it be argued? Anyway, their intentions, the state, is to drag this, argue on time frame when those guys have to sue. That's what I'm also asking is like now that their names are being tarnished, because now we know their names are being tarnished, can't they get some kind of recourse for their good name? Like what's that word? Defamation of character, you know? Sinclair says, hey, hey, Kelly not guilty until proven guilt. Not even if KK proven guilty, I won't believe it. Never, I won't believe it. Never we have been lied to. Too much shame. Yeah, 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 that's true. We agree that everybody is innocent until proven guilty, including the six. But that also doesn't mean we're stupid enough not to suspect that they were involved. At least one of them is involved, and they are covering up for that one individual. And the possibility of some of them collecting money is also a suspicion of ours and highly likely. The only person that they forgot to pay was Ntapsang, though. Ntapsang sang like a canary. Pumzile Musia is reflecting the truth of his eight photos. I believe that too. Pumzile, I believe that too. I think those eight photos are the real evidence. 130, 30. I would like to see a comparison of the 130. If any of the eight that Musia took are there part of the 130, please. Longane says, I'm late. No, sorry. Sorry, bro. Karen says, attorney, Tobani attorney, please, man, draft the application. Yeah, let's have a look at it. Let us promote it to us all South Africans. I can even put it on the channel and say there is an application that we can all participate in, whether it's a petition or whatever it is. Let's all sign and force the NPA to do something because we're sick and tired of being lied to. Sinclair says, I'm coming essay next. I think you say next week. Please let me meet briefly here. Big bro. No, no, definitely we can meet. I don't have an issue with you, a meeting with you. Yeah, whenever, just ring me up on Instagram. It's Clantis at Clantis underscore Dumagute. That's where you'll find me. Richard says, we were DNA taken from that famous hat. That famous hat now has the biology of Makumalo, of the police, and whoever wore it. Whoever wore it, there are three sets of DNAs that are going to be found there. Now, who is the person you pin the Senzo Meyiwa on amongst the three? Makumalo? Yeah, you're right. That's supposed to have happened. That both witnesses and cops are confidently talking about. I think with that one, we're going to hear from the forensics. The forensics are the one that are going to tell us, or whoever did the biology on the abstract of DNA from the hats. They are the ones who take the stand and let us know whose DNA did they find. Pindi, we the poor, we drowning. Kuphila abanenyuku. Kuphila abanenyuku. That's true. Slupheke sithi phu. Ooh, Faith. Yes, those boys died mysteriously. You know those township boys who are always sitting at the. Yeah, I know them. In my township as well. If you just take the corner, you'll find them there next to the station. Yeah, usually it's like a substation. If it's not a substation, it's like a corner of a either a four-way or a T junction. Yeah, I know those. I know. Like I said, in my township, you just take the corner, you'll find them there. Sometimes when you're coming from work, hey, uncle, hey, two randy, hey, escape. that type of thing. Okay, I don't smoke, but I always give them either 5 rand or 10 rand or whatever I have in my pocket. I know those boys you're talking about. Annie, one fish, many fish. Caroline Fish, thank you for correcting. I thought you would have unsubscribed. Yeah, one fish, many fish. Okay, now you need to pay me for my English lessons. Tandy says, Ababo, Shre, 6 people in the Mapiri and useless popos. Yeah, Ababo, Shre, for real. Okay, Titi says, will still start and remain a mandate to NPA to charge them, but NPA refuse. Then they must issue noble prosecute certificate. I think that is private prosecution. Then it can be private. Okay, yeah, there we go. It must first start as public under MPA. If it fails, then public. Oh, okay. Please draft it for us. Katele. Mandy, one ship, many ship. Here's an addition. Here's another addition. So when a bullet hits something, it ricochet. The T is silent. You do not pronounce the T. It's not ricochet. It's a ricochet. Okay, now we are becoming silly people. Come on. Tandy says, did they check Chico's gun so he can be cleared of this? I don't know. I heard immediately after the incident, he reported it stolen, and apparently it was a revolver. Caroline says, Clantis throwing faith and I under the bus. By this fish. No, I just thought maybe I should take you back to grade two just for a few seconds, and then we come back to adulthood. Sorry. Faith says fish, fishes. I think it's American English where they say fishes. We don't say. It's like saying a glass is half. No, no. I think when people say, "Oh, I love to the fullest," fullest. It's either glass half empty or half full. It's never fullest because if it's fullest, it overflows. Kubula says, "Hey Longwe, hey Longwe made mention of those boys sitting in the street during his radio interview. Only he changed the narrative. He said the boys who usually sit in the street corner were not there. Oh, we will go with the first instincts. Sitara says, nah, I will be happy if the five sue the state. Let them eat that money and wave KK checkmate. And then Tumel already called them Zinja. Yeah, ne. Isaiah says Miss KK, she's part and parcel of the secret society. Tell us more. Tell us more. No, no, I get what you said because I've also heard that before as well. That's the whole ancestral thing is just a disguise for a secret society membership or whatever the case is. So it's not the first time I've heard this. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true. We're also not saying it's true. And I don't think Isaiah, you also know it's true. I think it's just suspicions that we are all having. Is it Illuminati? Goodness knows. We don't know. She's been protected. Koliso, goeienaand. How are you doing? We can hear you. Oh, okay. That means it was on my side that the what you call that thing was being nasty. The network. Tandy says KK she had a gun underground. One so she went to hide it. That's why she disappeared. Tumelo came with the lady who doesn't know. Okay, the conspiracies. I'm loving them. That's why I love the clan. We are conspiracy theorists and we are unashamed of it. because we are using our brains, people. We are rubbing our two IQs, and then we are not saying we are right, and we are not saying this is correct. We are just rubbing our IQs and trying to make sense of what really happened. Yes, we might miss the mark because the only people that know the truth are the six people that are supposed to be in the dock right now, together with the five. So, yeah. Faith says Unogada slash mash is something else. He must come to the stand with his crew that I won't mention. Clantis, thank you for the heads up. No, yeah, please do that, and then we will promote it. We will definitely promote it. Tommy says that makes me happy. No, thank you. No, thank you so much for that advice. I did see a spark. I did it day before. You know how with YouTube you see things like 48 hours or 24 hours later. I was like, whoa, this is true. I cannot wait for this life to be over so I can do it again. Getting greedy. Butumelo, hi Clancis. Hi Butumelo, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. We are making sense of everything. We are trying to make sense. We are not saying we are right. So that's what we are trying to do. Brian is saying Kelly had fallen out of love, guys. Hence the weird behavior, guys. Let's not forget the exchange of text with Sandy. That's true. That's true. But then I'm trying to also understand why she felt so overwhelmed by Senzo's presence in her life. You know, was Senzo being unpleasant towards her? Because if he was unpleasant towards her, and let's and suppose longer when he arrived, he fought Zandi and probably was even physical with Zandi. Why would he stand up and then protect Zandi and then got shot as a result? So I'm not quite sure exactly what had happened in that relationship. Maybe Senzo got another lady. I don't know. You know. So maybe she was fed up of that, or maybe she was fed up with the fact that he was not divorcing the wife. I don't know. So, but you are right about that text message. That text. So clearly, by the time he was breathing his last breath, she probably said some nasty things to him. We don't know. You know. Cindy Sewell says, how come the people in the house never mentioned Umalume when they never asked who was left behind? That's so true. That is so true. We didn't know about Umalume till that we hear on Friday. I wake up on Friday morning, I get a DM from Faith. Faith is like, did you know that Uncle Kuma? Tell me about this. I'm like, you are lying. It's like we are all looking, and there was somebody else as well who told me. In fact, I saw two messages on my DM. Two messages. I can't remember what the second person was. I was like, then he said, I'm going to do more research and I'll come back. And he did come back and gave me a full profile of Temba Khumalo. And I was like, so he is a cop. And he was a cop at that time. Scandalous. Scandalous. Daphne says, don't forget all is alleged. True. That is why I'm repeating that we are just rubbing our two IQs here. We are not saying we were there, and we're not saying these are facts. So that's part of covering the allegedly part. So, yes, it is everything that we are saying, we are not saying is the fact. We were not there. We don't know. We're just rubbing our two IQs. That's it. Tandy says, Tobani attorneys, I salute you, sir. You did very well to this case. I do miss you sometimes. The clan say kudos to TT. Kudos, TT. Thank you so very much. Were you involved in the first trial, TT? Because I was not in, I didn't see it. Were you involved? Because I picked up something that you said and I was like, were you instructing attorney? Who's instructing attorney were you, or whatever the case might have been back then? Because I feel like, oh, you were deaf. Please, that I always want to ask, but I don't like intruding on people. So, but I pick up that you must have been involved in this case before. Titi says, yes, in this case, before court now, they can only sue NPA for reckless, malicious prosecution and defamation of character. Yes, that is what I wanted to hear. Faith, those guys, so that means instead of getting sued for millions of rands, they only can get somewhere between 500,000 to a million rand, right? Because I think defamation of character is 500,000 rand, or it starts from 500,000 rand. Guys, be careful, be careful online on people. There was a case once in my neighborhood. Two girls were fighting. One called the other one is Fabe. The other one, who was called is Fabe, went and sued the other one, and she won 500,000 rand lawsuit. It was so funny. And then I'm thinking, for these people, when they fight, they throw these words at each other. But then, of course, when it's argued in court, it's in English because they argued it in English. So to translate its Fabe into English, it's not the B word that you think it is. It's not, because if the B word, it means a female dog. That's the true definition of the B word. But Isfab is something, a whole different thing. That when you define it, it really does, what do you call this, lead to defamation of character. How can you prove that this individual, this is what they are doing in the privacy, behind closed doors? Were you there? Did you see them? Who are these people? Bring them on the stand. Let them testify that they know her. This girl couldn't answer all of that, and she was sued 500,000 rand. Sleepy Sandy, hi, how are you? Sleepy Sandy says, what's up? I'm back. Welcome back, Sleepy Sandy. Thank you so much for being here. Highly appreciate. Sleepy Sandy says, do you know anything about Islam, and are you looking forward to learn it? Now, I don't know. I used to have, back in school, I used to have a Muslim friend. Yeah, that's as far as I know about Islam. To be honest with you, I am not interested in organized religion at all. I find, okay, now let me leave that part. I'm just not interested in organized religion, but I do believe in God. I believe there's a higher power and all of that stuff. I think also it's a private matter for individuals. How you have a relationship with God, that's a private matter. But to be honest with you, organized religion is not my thing. Face purple smiling fags. Thank you so much, Sandy. Faith says TT exactly cause their future J is doomed. Yeah, all this loss of income, especially with accused number two, he looks like very young to me. Mapula, dots are connecting very much so. Very much so. Sinclair says, Tembo dropped the application. I will circulate it in the UK, South African diaspora, and on my TV show. You have a TV show, girl? Please let us know what it is. You can go into my DM and leave me a link of your TV show, please. I would love to support. Terry says, forget, she's shouting, forget that the internet get home connect. They are very stable. That's what you are saying. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Rodney, hi Rodney, hi Clantis. This is Township English. Somebody says I'm late instead of I came late. Not, I know what you mean, because I'm late means your your period are late or you dead. But I think correct the correct way is a woman when they say I'm late. Not men. A man can't say you are late because you're not late. You can never be late. The only late that you can be is when English lessons tonight coming left, right, and center. Cynthia, this live chat is funny. Sleepy Sandy says, "Are unicorns real?" In my dreams. I see them in my dreams. I'll close my eyes and I'll see them flying beautifully with their rainbow colors and fluffy little tails, and they're just singing nice, beautiful hum and hymns, and then I fall asleep. Oh my gosh. Face says fullest. Can you be serious? Just sleepy Sandy says, Sue. Oh, is it Sui? Oh my God, Titi says, okay, I will work on it in earnest. Thank you so much, Titi. Else interview, including Daddy C's interviews from different media platforms, must be collected. In listen to those. There's a vital information there whereby people are contradicting themselves. I think yes, those will indeed, if they take the stand, they definitely are going to pull those audios. Mzwandile Khumalo says they we love you, Mzwandile. There was no intruder. These stories are not adding up. Senzo was a player like all the famous typical soccer players. 100% agree. I don't believe they were intruders. That was a cooked up story. Faith Malume told them to. Faith says, yes, TT was on instructing attorney. Okay. So I was trying to put one plus one is two, and then I was like, do I ask? Would I be imposing? But I thought, you know what? At some point, the information will reveal itself. So he was instructing attorney. Okay. We wow, mind blown. And yeah, thank you. I highly appreciate you being here for real. Highly appreciate you. Titi took over. Oh, okay. I see. I see. Oh, wow. Zwandile says Titi was an instructing attorney, therefore was an advocate. Yeah. Okay. Now I figured that a little bit. Like, there's a chance that he was an instructing attorney. Sinclair says, so what if the meeting at Makumalo was not about so-called Lobola issue, was actually to sort out issues between Senzo, who might maybe want to dump KK? Remember Zandi and Tumelo, something related? Hmm, possible, highly possible. Anything is possible with this case. Honestly speaking, anything is possible. We are down to our second last comment, and I think I would like to say good night. But before that, let's finish this, and then I'll say good night. Tandim Temple says, Clantis Mausho isifebe uyabona laba abaphuma bangena amasonto ngibabiza lelo. I get you. It's like a person who jumps from one political party to the next, to the next, to the win. I get you. But don't say it out loud because you get sued. As that says, they can be sued for millions. Psychological trauma, waste of their social life. That's why you see places like US, they even give them new life at near place and ID. Oh, okay. All right. Mzwandile says good night. We love you. I love you too, you guys. You've been awesome tonight. Thank you so much, Isaiah Petit. Ngiyaxolisa. Nkosi yami, I'm terrible with names. Terrible. I'm a coconut. That is something I always say in my life. Today I forgot to mention it. That if I cannot pronounce your name, I only learned English and Afrikaans when I was growing up. It's not my fault. I was taken to these schools, and then I only realized when I graduated, and then I started working in the field that oops, something that was left behind, I need to go get it. And then I started learning isiZulu, like doing night classes for 2 years, even though I think my Zulu also is shaky. I'm Zulu, which is ironic. But when it comes to reading names, Did I ever tell you guys a story about the first time I read a Zulu name? It was my high school. It's an all boys school. It's a private all boys school, and so the school was now starting to take in more black kids. I was the first one for 4 years, and then when I was doing my senior year, and I was also a prefect, and so they were intaking what do you call this, more black boys. So now my responsibility as a prefect is to take your kid from the front office the moment they are done with their interviews and they're accepted into the school, and then now they are located a class, and then prefect's job is to take the child to their class that they are located to. So I have to read the names of all the boys that I'm going to be dropping in their respective classes. So one of the boys, so in fact two, they were brothers. One was going to a higher class than the other one, and their name was Mtunu. Mtunu. Now, if you've learned English throughout your life, you know that there are some words that you pronounce differently, even though they're supposed to sound S, right? So now, can you imagine when I'm reading? I still remember this guy's name. I said his name was Bongani Mchunu. And then here I am going, Bongani, instead of Mchunu, I changed the C was converting to an S. The H was silent, but the U was pronounced correctly as U. And then as I was done reading his name, my eyes went wild. And I heard the parents go, and I was like, okay, come guys. I was in shock taking them to their class. Those poor boys were called dads throughout their high school because of a mistake I made. Why? Because I didn't learn how to speak Zulu. I mean, to read Zulu and things like that. So that is my story time. Anyways, guys, let me say good night. I see some more came through. Let me quickly read. Cynthia says, "You rock." Thank you so much, Cynthia. You rock too for being a member of the clan, honorable members. Faye, TT, and therefore I miss them very, very streetwise. I missed out on that. We are so glad to hear from TT. Yeah, he's been here, guys, since I've started this. The court YouTube. Tandy says, "Do you know Tumelo before said Senzo was sleeping with Zandi and told Zandi not picking up calls from Lo?" I always suspected that. That's what I always suspected. Zondi says, "Aware name by mistake. Askis, yeah, swear name is by mistake. Yes, it was a mistake. It was not my intentions at all. But as I was reading, and when I was done reading it, I got shocked, and they all saw me shocked. Like, I know this is not the right word. I just walked out. I walked up, but I did apologize to the parents later on. I did go and I explained myself. They understood. They were such great people. They understood and they said it's fine. And I think they also understood that with the fact that they children as well, when they were coming to the school, they also came from another Model C school, and then these sort of mistakes were always happening. It's either the surname will pronounce as Mchunu or how I called it. So they were not very surprised. So they just gave me, I remember the mother gave me a hug and said, "Oh, we are so sorry. We the ones who bring you guys to these sort of schools and whatnot." Not. It was just horrible. It was horrible. Faith says, "Coconut, indeed, you can't even read." Yeah, that's true. I can't. But give me an Afrikaans text and give me an English text, siyangena. Or say ma yeah, that word, which is unogatas. Oh, machingelani. Wow. My isiZulu is improving every day. Yeah, when I because you know that I'm bad at it, so you are small. Why you laugh? Oh, small. Why you laughing? You making me. No, I'm so sorry. That was me, people. And I never wanted to read another um Venek surname again. I would rather call you by your name. That's it. And I will not go to your surname because, ooh, Lapaya, that's where it happens. So, anyways, guys, thank you all so much for being with me for the past 1 hour and 45 minutes. So, I think we've covered almost everything, even though I'm still traumatized by the 4 hours it took the six people to call the cops. That needs to be answered too, as far as I'm concerned. And I think it gives a clear indication who is involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. So that is that, guys. All I love y'all, members of the clan, honorable members of the clan. You must know that. And thank you again, Azaya. Highly appreciated. I shall see you again next week, Saturday. Hopefully, they are not going to do what they did yesterday. Much love. Mwah. Okay, you have to press end broadcast, bro.